Hey everybody, Sean here from VidGamiac.com. Here we are today back in Dead by Daylight, grabbing the Adept Nurse achievement. This is to get a merciless killer rating with the nurse only using her 3 specific perks. This is going to be done from the killer's side. You are going to need to play as nurse for this. You are going to need to get her to at least level 10 to get 3 open perk slots. The 3 perks you are going to need are going to be Strider, then you're going to need Thanatophobia, and then finally Nurse's Calling, which is going to be the best perk of the bunch. So make sure you start up the game. Of the original killers, the nurse is probably going to be the hardest to use if you are a newer player. However, if you can master her, she is going to be one of the best killers. The big reason behind Nurse's huge learning curve is going to be the fact that she is the only one of the original killers who actually moves slower than the survivors. So as soon as the game starts, I recommend engaging with the survivors as soon as possible. Keep in mind you will never beat the survivor in a straight up chase, so take advantage of any sharp turns as well as any fakes. You definitely want to be smarter with your chases here. Never engage in a chase you know you're going to lose and abandon it as soon as a better one comes up. That being said, to make up for her slow movement speed, you can take advantage of her special ability. If you hold left trigger, you can use an ability called Blink. It'll pretty much just teleport the nurse forward. So the longer you hold left trigger, the further you can go. And this teleport also can pass through solid objects. So you can use it to pass through walls as well as pallets. You want to make sure you are a little careful with the move. Once you come out of the teleport, your character is going to get blinked stunned. Basically, they're going to be a little disoriented coming out of the teleport. So as soon as you teleport, make sure the first thing you do is try to land a hit on the survivor. So my best advice for this is to only use the blink whenever you have an opportunity to guarantee yourself an attack. One of the best times to use it is if someone is trying to pallet camp. Basically, make sure you use the blink to blink behind them and then quickly turn around and hit them before they drop the pallet or try to jump over it, and then you can land an easy hit that way. Another good use of it is whenever you are trying to close the distance. So a good scenario to use it on is going to be you hanging someone up and then walking away to avoid the camp penalty. Then someone should come in to try to rescue them. Make sure you blink over to close the distance, and then you can land a quick hit in. And that should allow you to cover any distance that is lost thanks to the nurse's slow movement speed. Other than that, I don't recommend over relying on the blink. However, again, being a smart chaser is going to be way more efficient than trying to blink and then constantly being blink stunned, which will eventually slow you down. The other main strategy you want to take advantage of, especially in the late game, is going to be the perk Nurse's Calling. Nurse's Calling will reveal you the location of anyone nearby who is healing. So what's going to happen is survivors who are damaged are often going to hide in a corner so they can heal. And then if you happen to be nearby, you could spot them using the perk. And then basically what you can do is you can pin them in these little hidey hole corners and basically punish them as they are trying to heal. So, especially in the late game, when there are only a few survivors and generators left, you're going to be in the midst of a bunch of crisscrossing chases. Make sure every survivor has some damage on them at all times, and the big reason for that is if you damage someone and your chase gets interrupted, you could basically spot them if they are trying to run away and then hide to heal themselves. So hopefully these strategies will help you fill out the 4 categories needed for the merciless killer rating. A good thing with nurse is you're going to get a bunch of short chases, which is going to help with your chaser category. As always, make sure you try to aim for as many hooks as possible and then try to aim for killing all 4 survivors, although you do not need to if you perform well enough on the other categories. So as you can see right here, having Nurse's Calling is going to help out, especially in the late game. You can peek out to anyone who is trying to hide and heal, and then you can punish them accordingly. Once you manage to win the game and get the merciless killer rating at the same time, you should be good for the achievement once the game's over. Of course, on the results screen, you can hit right bumper and then check your results to see what you need to improve on. But once you finally manage the merciless, you should be good for the achievement. 20 gamer score, and that's all there is to it.